Center field, Blake Walker. Right field, Jake Moore, little brother, almost as big as Dylan Moore. And playing second base is Trent Anderson. The DH will be Colton Crawley. Third baseman, Jacob Taylor. And also coming off the bench is Devin Carpenter, Blake Smith, Dylan Dewitt, and Zane Hanks. Head coach is Kent Gregg in his second year, I believe. Assistant coaches are Brandon Green and Aaron Nation. And we've already started. First pitch was low and away, ball one, and that one's going to be fouled back. The count now, 1-1. Dylan Moore is 2 strikes, so I missed one. Okay, must have missed the first one. Okay, so the count now, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Yes, I got here a little late, and we're just now getting set up, but we're ready to go. So the count, 1-2. McKinney gets his sign called off. Dylan likes the next one. And there's the pitch, and it's a swing and strike. And Kobe Henry goes down on 4 pitches for the first out. Now coming up to the plate is the right fielder, Jarrett Morgan. He's a lefty. He's been hitting the ball very well here of late. And that's why he was moved up from the 6th hole to the 2 hole. It looked pretty uncomfortable Saturday in the 2 hole. And he steps in. And he looks like a nervous wreck when he bats. Everybody will see that if they've never seen him bat. First pitch, outside, ball 1. Next 2 batters for the Bulldogs are Davenport and Norman. This pitch will be fouled off down the third base line into the dugout. And that brings the count even to 1-1. There's been some shake-up in positions for the Queen City Bulldogs. Dalton Rankin from first base to left. Ryan Holly came off as the DH to first base. And it's a ground ball down the first base line, but it will roll foul. The first baseman, Gall, also down there and picks it up. And the count now, 1 ball and 2 strikes. All right, everybody's going to get reset. I can tell you this, Dylan Moore probably led the district last year in innings pitched, and that's a swing and strikeout, so that is 2 batters and 2 strikeouts for Dylan Moore. Now coming up to the plate is Drew Davenport. Now the difference between Davenport and Moore is Davenport's a fastball guy, or excuse me, Dylan Moore's a fastball guy, but does have a good curveball. Davenport, his changeup is faster than his fastball. He's one of those sneaky pitchers, so we'll see what happens. All right, Davenport steps in, 2 lefties back-to-back, face Moore. The first pitch, low and outside, ball 1. Another young man for the Hugh Springs Mustangs, Chad McKinney. We've known him for a long time on a personal basis. Here comes the next pitch, and it's a bloop shot, and it will fall on the ground as a bloop single. And Queen City has their first runner on the bags. So now coming up to the plate for the Queen City Bulldogs is Chase Norman. He's going to be playing third base today. Moore pitching from the stretch now. Davenport with a moderate lead. Gall holding them on at first. On sign and signals. It's a pickoff attempt. And Davenport will get back, no problem. Dylan Moore, Chad McKinney, and Drew Davenport have all played with each other for several years down in an organization in Dallas. So they kind of know each other's strengths and weaknesses. It's all good when you're playing together, but when you get against each other, it could be a disadvantage or an advantage, depending on how you look at it. All right, another pickoff attempt, and Davenport will get back. Dylan Moore knows that Drew loves to run. All right, he gets a sign from McKinney. Davenport gets another step. They check him. Here comes the pitch. It's a swing and strike. And once again, Moore gets ahead of the batters. So the count 0-1 with 2 outs here in the top of the first. comes the next pitch, and it's a called strike on the outside corner about knee high. Brings the count 0-2. So if I'm Moore, I don't even bother with Davenport. I go after the batter with an 0-2 count. Here comes the pitch. It's a ground ball, and it may be a CNI single. He's going to fire it over to first, but Norman will be safe at first base. The shortstop, Hayden Smith, had to go deep for the ball and had to throw it off his back foot. So 2 runners on for the Queen City Bulldogs. Now coming up to the plate, it's Kendall Griffin, who's gone from left field to center field today. Chad McKinney, the catcher, is going to call time. He's going to run out there and talk to Moore. And always a good trip over here to Hugh Springs, only 30 miles away, and we don't mind making that trip at all. All right, they're done with their conversation. Moore gets a sign from McKinney. He gets set, checks Davenport at second, and Kendall Griffin calls time. He thought it took too long, so he's going to step out, get a little break. Now, Dylan Moore pitched Saturday. He only pitched 3 innings, so that's why he's got the start today. Coach Craig, pretty smart coach. Here comes the pitch. That's going to be a called strike on the inside corner. And so with 2 outs here in the top of the first, there's runners on first and second. The count 0-1 to Kendall Griffin. Moore gets set. Checks Davenport. Here comes the pitch. And that's going to be a called strike right at the knees on the middle outer part of the plate, we'll call it. Middle out, we'll say. So the count now 0-2. Here comes the payoff pitch. And it's going to be fouled off and out of play. The count remains 0-2. We'll get a new ball to Moore on the mound. Here comes the pitch. Davenport fakes to go, and it's a drop third strike. Up to the plate for the Queen City Bulldogs will be Colton Morgan, Davis Dupree, and Dalton Wright. Morgan steps in. Here comes Moore's first pitch. And it's going to be low and away, ball 1. It's a good day for baseball. Not too hot. It's definitely not raining or cold. Next pitch is a strike, 1-1 the count.
I didn't expect the stands.
A little overcast sky. Taylor, the third baseman, playing inside the grass. That pitch is going to be fouled back. The count now 1 ball and 2 strikes. He throws another ball. Dylan is ready. Morgan steps back in with 1 ball and 2 strikes against him. Here comes the pitch. And this one will be fouled off and out of play. The count remains 1-2. If you were looking for Atlanta Rabbit baseball tonight, you have missed out on your Queen City Bulldog baseball. Here comes the next pitch. And nice little slider there by Moore. And that is his 4th strikeout. 3 in the first. He did give up 2 hits. He has some strikeouts sandwiched in there somewhere. All right, Davis Dupree, the DH. He is batting for Dakota Carver, the catcher. He'll step in. Here comes the pitch. That's going to be a called strike. Dylan is playing, or painting, I should say, the outside corner with his first pitch. Here comes the next one. Same pitch, and it threw. You can tell that it's got some tail on it because the batters are kind of flinging their bat out there instead of stepping and driving. The count now 0-2. Here comes the pitch. Ground ball and foul down the first base line. So we'll reset everything for you. There's one out here in the top of the second. 0-0 is your score. There's one out. Dylan Moore on the mound. Davis Dupree at the plate. Here comes the next pitch. And it's a comebacker right up the middle. But the shortstop, Hayden Smith, picks it up and fires it over to first base. It was a 6-3 put out and out number 2. And now coming up to the plate for the Queen City Bulldogs is Dalton Catfish Wright. Pitch fast. Likes to get a sign, likes to go. So here comes the first pitch. High fly ball and out of play. And Wright starts down 0-1 in count. We'll step back in. Here comes the next pitch. A swinging strike. That was a fastball. Count 0-2. And this pitch is going to be low and outside. McKinney has to come out of his catcher position and knock it down. So the count now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Ground ball down the third base line and foul. The count remains 1-2.
I won't be here long.
All right, here we go. Dylan Moore from the windup, the kick and the pitch. It's a ground ball, and it's almost like a swinging bunt. Taylor comes up, and Dalton Wright will get credit for the infield single. So another hit for the Bulldogs. And now coming up to the plate is Ryan Hawley, the first baseman. So Dalton Wright at first base with a swinging bunt down the third base line. With 2 outs here in the top of the second. Moore pitching from the stretch. Here comes the first one. And that's going to be a called strike. Checks his runner at first. Here comes the next pitch. And that'll be a swinging strike. The count now 0-2. So it's two outs, 2 strikes. Here comes the pitch. Hawley will go down swinging. 5 strikeouts now for Dylan Moore as he retires. That